Hello everybody, it's Mr. Matthew Does Coding and welcome back to the Valley Devlog. This is episode 5 and today I have tons of wonderful features lined up to show you guys today. So without further ado, let's see everything that's new in the Valley. Hey, before this video starts, I'd like to mention I have a Discord server where I put out all this update information about the Valley early. So, if that sounds interesting to you, go join that in the link in the description. First, let's talk about crops. 3 new crops have been added: asparagus, tomato, and cabbage. These are not too special, but the asparagus and tomato plants do have a chance to grow multiple harvests like strawberries and grapes do. Here are all the growth stages of these plants and the item textures that come with them. Next, let's talk about trees. A new type of tree has been added. This is the blue maho tree, but in game it'll be called its Spanish name, maho azul, due to Roblox thinking the English name is inappropriate and censoring it. On top of that, all the trees have gotten a massive rework on the back end to match the centralization of all other large features. With these back end changes though, there are a couple things that will affect the player. Trees are now stored in 3 different states: full, chopped, and stump. The chopped state in particular is special because now the trunk will fall upon the tree breaking, and the player will have to click on the stump to harvest the items. The stump will only disappear until all the items are taken from it. Finally, tree data stores have been brought back with these back-end changes, so you'll have the same trees with their same states upon leaving and joining the game. Let's briefly move over to the inventory to talk about one little change that I think will be useful in the future. Items can now be dropped on the ground by picking them up in your inventory and clicking outside of the frame, and then you can pick them back up by clicking on the little yellow token that appears in front of you. Now, as for ambience, there are 2 things that have been added. One is very minor. It's dynamic wind, so the wind will just change speed every once in a while to make the game feel a little bit less dead. And the larger feature is rain. Now, rain will have 4 different severities that I'll display here on the screen, and each one of these will have a small chance of being a lightning storm, but lightning will not affect you in any way. It's purely a visual thing. One benefit of rain though is that crops will grow 1.2 times faster when it is raining, and the farmland will turn a dark brown to indicate that it is actually growing faster. Now, before we get to the biggest feature of this update, let's quickly roll through some minor changes. Clouds change color at night. Lignin vitae and mahogany sapling textures have been added. The inventory background texture has been cleaned up. Cedar and spruce sapling textures have been updated. Crop growth time has gone up to 7 to 10 minutes. Terrain under the waterfall has been cleaned up. Carrot texture was revised. Alright, now with all that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the biggest part of this update. It's a core thing that this whole game is really going to be built off of, which is crafting. Crafting will be done with this bench right here, which in further updates will be purchasable in the market. The menu looks like this, with the inventory on the left, the options on the top right, and the output in the bottom right. To craft something, all you need to do is select which item you'd like to make in the options menu, and then place the ingredients into the slots. When enough is placed inside, the output will go from being semi-transparent to opaque, which will allow you to grab it and put it into your inventory. Hints will show up for each recipe, but you can turn that off with this button if you want. For categorical crafts like chests, which only require any log, not a specific type of log, a unique texture will pop up to represent all the wood types. And this will be true for any other kind of categorical type of crafts that might be added in the future. And that's pretty much it for this update. As for future plans, I won't spoil too much of what I'm going to have in episode 6, but I would like to work on chests and trellises, which were shown in that crafting menu, which don't currently have any functionality. But outside of that, I would like to give some older features that don't have much use at the moment some functionality so that the player has a reason to work with those features. Thank you so much for watching this update video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.